So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to add SDK tools, packages and platforms to Android Studio. So the way we are going to do that is, first of all, we are going to open up Android Studio. So mine is right at the bottom here, and when it's finished loading, we'll go ahead and click on Configure. So right here, we are going to click on Configure SDK Manager, and then once you're in here, we're going to click on Launch Standalone SDK Manager. Or that will pull open a windows like this, and you might not have all this crazy log coming up. It might just go ahead and open up. So I'm just going to close this, and you're going to have something that looks very similar to what I'm looking at here. So I'm just going to kind of minimize this stuff. So we can get a better view, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to install. So first things first, we are going to go to this tools portion right here, and we're going to check Android SDK tools, Android SDK platform tools, and then the latest Android SDK build tools, just like that. So you want to check those three first off. From there, what you are going to want to do is, you are going to go to extras. We are going to expand that, and you're going to want to make sure that you have Android support respiratory checked, Android support library checked, and then we are going to go down to Google Play services, and then Google Play respiratory, and then let me double check. So from there, we are going to want to go all the way to the bottom, and we are going to grab this Intel Times 86 emulator accelerator. Right, so grab that all as well. Great. So once you have all those checked, now we are going to get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty. So now we are going to go to Android 6.0, and there's going to be an easy way to install these, and there's going to be more involved way. So I'm going to show you the easy way first. The easy way is, you just check the whole box, right? You check the whole box, and it will ensure that you have this SDK platform or tools that you can target Android 6.0, right? This way will ensure that you have all that stuff and more. If you want a little bit longer processor but less download size, I'm going to show you how to do that too. So what you can do is, you can expand this, and you can check only these things. So you could say documentation is going to be one of the things that you are going to want. You are going to definitely want the SDK platform. You're going to want the Google API, and then you're going to want these sources for Android SDK. So far these are what I would call the essentials. From there, the rest of these things are all targeting the emulator, right? Except for these samples. Samples is exactly as it sounds. It's going to give you some samples that demonstrate the latest features, right? So these system images essentially are emulators, or for whatever they're explaining. So Android TV emulator, or Android Wear emulator, and then the rest are a little bit more complex. Essentially what the Intel 86 Atom is a faster way of emulating an Android device. If you click this arm, this is a slower emulator, but it emulates more what the Android architecture is. But what I would recommend is, I would recommend whatever you have. If you have a 64-bit operating system, then I would grab this until 86, 64. If you have a 32-bit, and you can just grab this one right here. Matter of faculty, I might download this ARM as well, but just to be safe. So these Google API emulators right here essentially are including, things like Google Maps, Google Drive, all the Google apps. It's going to include them inside the emulator. If you download the Google API emulator, so you can check these as well, right? So like I said, this is a little bit more involved. Hopefully I gave you just a little bit as to what each one of these things is and why they matter. So you're going to want to download those things essentially. You're going to download these for whatever version you're going to target. So right now we are downloading this stuff for Android 6.0. We also want to download this stuff for Android API level 2221, and actually what that should do for us. So we are going to go, and like I said, we can either check all of it this is going to be a bigger download size, but you don't have to go through and check all those and take that lengthy process. Or you can just kind of, like I said, grab the SDK platform, sources, Google App, and then I would grab these three here and then these three here. So smaller download size, but it's a little bit more complex involved. So like I said, now we have 5.1.1 and then we have 6.0, and then finally we are going to grab 5.01. So I would get the SDK platform once again, Intel or both Intels, the ARM, Google App, all three of these here, and then the sources for Android SDK. So once you have all these things checked, what you're going to want to do is click on install 13 packages, and you'll notice that it's going to say to some of these accept the license, right? You're going to have to accept the license and then you can install. And this doesn't show exactly how yours or mine look. Sometimes you have to scroll down in this packages panel and actually select multiple of these things. So you have to select it and then accept it for all the ones that ask you. Okay, so we'll check it just like I'm doing now, and then check on accept, and then finally you're going to click on install, right? And then I only have one because they have most of these installed already, but luckily I have checked one that I don't have installed, so I can kind of show you guys the process. So essentially what it's going to do is it's going to say downloading the SDK platform, and then it's going to install it for you automatically. So this is going to be quite a lengthy process because this is quite a large file size regardless of the way you have checked. If you checked all of it, it's going to be a largest file size and turn a longer time period. If you haven't checked all of it, it's still going to be quite a large file size but a less lengthy time period to install this stuff. So just give it some time, make sure to install that stuff, and that's actually going to do it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next video.